Give you some more turmoil. There's always turmoil in the business news, isn't there? Delano's here. There's always turmoil. It's business news. Oh, it's happy business news, is it? Okay. Big announcements coming out of Apple.
That's right, Stuart. The tech giant came out with a whole range of new software features for iPhones, iPads, and Mac computers. But the highlight of the developers conference was its foray into music streaming. Apple Music aims to beat rival Spotify at its own game, and for $10 a month, users can take advantage of on-demand listening and a 24/7 radio station hosted by live DJs. Here's a look now at what some industry insiders had to say.
As a music fan, one of my biggest gripes sometimes is finding and discovering new music. So I'm really hoping that Apple Music gives me an opportunity to sort of discover new artists and keep that playlist constantly changing, keep it exciting.
It's all within a single container. And in that particular container, you have the ability to not only hear your own music, but to hear new music. And I think the discoverability factor is big.
Moving on now, the US president weighed in on the ongoing Greek debt saga following the G7 summit. Barack Obama told Athens it was time to make some tough political decisions while calling on Greece's creditors for flexibility. Meanwhile, the Greek finance minister Yanis Varoufakis was in the German capital on Monday. He said it was time the finger-pointing stopped and called on the German chancellor to visit his country and bring some hope. Take a listen.
A speech of hope for Greece does not have to be technical. It could simply mark a sea change, a break with the past 5 years of adding new loans on already unsustainable debt on condition of more doses of punitive austerity that diminishes our incomes. Who should deliver the speech of hope? Well, I think it should be the German Chancellor.
Yeah, there you go, Greece. I told you there would be some turmoil. The markets then, how are they trading in Asia?
The prospect of more turmoil, the prospect of the US Fed tightening its monetary policy by as early as September is negatively impacting Asian trade. All the main indices are trading to the downside of this hour. The Nikkei that you see down 1.5%, and weak inflation data coming out of China is also keeping the Shanghai Composite lower this session, down around 1% at this hour. Now, he's the highest paid executive in Britain, but Sir Martin Sorrell is facing increasing shareholder discontent over his annual pay package of 60 million euros. He earns 179 times more than the average employee at WPP, the multinational advertising and public relations agency. On Tuesday, the company holds its annual general meeting, this as one investor voting advisory group has already called his salary excessive. Claire Murphy reports.
Since the 1980s, Sir Martin Sorrell has been building a communications empire. As CEO of WPP, he now leads the world's largest advertising and marketing services group, with almost 180,000 employees and annual revenues of 15 billion euros. His companies are behind the branding and advertising of top products and services all over the world. It's made him Britain's best paid executive. With a basic salary of 1.5 million euros, its bonuses and pension contributions that brought his income for 2014 to 60 million euros, well ahead of the best paid French executives Patrick Drahi and Carlos Ghosn. But it's not all signed and sealed for Sir Martin. WPP shareholders gather on Tuesday and they have previously voted against his remuneration. What may discourage them from supporting him? An opportunity offered by one British media outlet, allowing readers enter their own salary and find out how long it will take them to amass Sorrell's riches.
Let's get a check on some of the other stories making headlines at this hour. Big changes on the cards at banking giant HSBC. The bank is expected to cut 10% of its workforce as well as axe its businesses in Brazil and Turkey. Chief Executive Stuart Gulliver will outline his second major strategic overhaul since taking the bank's reins in 2011. HSBC wants to trim its costs by $5 billion by 2017. First it was Lufthansa, but soon Air France-KLM could follow suit. The airline is considering levying a charge on tickets booked by third parties. Last week, Lufthansa implemented a €16 surcharge on flight seats not booked on its website. The move is part of the German carrier's plan to increase per-ticket earnings. And despite the resistance, Uber is ramping up its presence here in France. The ride-sharing app launched its Uber Pop services in the cities of Marseille, Nantes and Strasbourg on Monday. The rollout is seen as a direct challenge to French authorities, which passed a law last year effectively banning the service.
And finally from Delano, he's ending with a new announcement now. This is courtesy of Sir Richard Branson. What's he said?
Always big announcements from Richard Branson.
Exactly.
Remember last year when the Virgin Group's boss announced his staff could take unlimited time off? Now Branson could have outdone himself, for parents at least. Virgin's management have announced it will offer staff who take shared paternity leave up to a full year's pay. Employees who've worked at the company for 4 years will be eligible.
It's not bad, is it?
Not bad. Unlimited pay, 52 weeks off.
It's a bit late for me. I've had my kids already. Maybe for you, Delana, in the future. Who knows? Delana Souza with some business.